welcome to week 2 of the Southern California Prep Insider Baseball Podcast. Tommy and Les here. We got a new thing for you. Again, if you're watching the other sports, you know we have field reporters, a bunch of different high schools. We got the same thing today for baseball, so look out for that. You'll see it after our top 10. We've got to start with that top 10, Les. And speaking of new things, we have a newcomer in the top 10.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's fire away. We'll start at number 10, Arcadia. Tommy, the Apaches are 31-3 since the start of last season. And that's really something else, man. I don't care what league, what division, what state you're playing in. That's a pretty big dang deal, man. Tip of the cap to Coach Lemos over there. They pounded Pasadena yesterday, 11-1. So not only are they winning, but they're winning big right now. Checking in number 9 is Corona, 6-2. They lost a tough one yesterday to league rival and crosstown rival Corona Santiago, who is also a pretty good team in their own right. So the Big 8 League looks like it's going to be just kind of a zoo again this year, which is a lot of fun. Number 8 is Ayala. They're 8-1. They just keep racking up wins, Tommy. There's no other way to put it. I mean, their only loss is the CIFSS,
which is spelled CYPRESS. My apologies. I'm sorry. That was my fault last week.
Yeah, good makeup there, man. We got some stuff on Twitter and stuff like that. Hey, people are relentless, man.
It was one of those things. It was too late to fix it because it already had retweets, and I'm sorry, and it
happens, man. It happens. We were perfect. We wouldn't be sitting here.
Exactly.
Checking in at number 7 is Jay Serra. They took it on the chin last week, man. They went out to Alabama and played 5 games against 3 really good teams from both Alabama and Georgia, and they went 0-5, but really good experience. So all they did was come back yesterday and beat the number 1 team in our top 10, Huntington Beach. Checking in at number 6 is Yucaipa. They're 5-1. They haven't played in a week. They take on Carter from Riverside tomorrow, a game they should handle, assuming they get it in with the rain. Number 5 is La Mirada at 7-3. They beat Bakersfield yesterday. Emilio Morales made his season debut on the mound. They can really use him. If they get him back fully healthy, that gives them 3 really, really good arms on the bump. Checking in number 4 is Harvard Westlake, 6-1. The Wolverines hammered Crespi yesterday, 17-1. That's about as good a team as you're going to see up in that league in Harvard Westlake. Number 3 is Orange Lutheran. They dropped a little bit. They're 6-2. They lost to Cypress last week, the game we previewed in the last week's podcast. They're off until next week when they start Trinity League play against Santa Margarita. Gives them a chance to get healthy. They've got some injuries and some sickness they're dealing with. Number 2, the aforementioned Cypress. You beat the number 1 team in the top 10, you're going to move up, and that's what Cypress did. The Centurions are rolling. We mentioned they did beat Olu. They lost a tough one to St. John Bosco last week. It's their only blemish on the season. But Cypress is really, really good, really loaded team. And number 1, the aforementioned Huntington Beach. This was prior to their loss yesterday against Jay Serra. But, the Oilers are, without question, them, Cypress, and Olu are beginning to separate themselves here, at least in the Orange County area, but in the southern section as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, any of these teams in the top 10, you mentioned Jay Serra beating Huntington Beach. They come with a 5-6 record, so don't pay attention too much to the records. Don't pay attention too much to the early stuff. We still have the transfers that got to come and everything like that. So just kind of relax. So as I promised, we do have field reporters for our podcast fund. For the rest of them, we're going to start at Murrieta Valley with Jessica Lucero.
I am here with Murrieta Valley's head coach, Coach Joe Riley. Now, you actually graduated from here back in 2009, decided to come back just a couple years ago. Now in your 3rd year here as the head coach. So what is it about Murrieta Valley that just really keeps you coming back?
Just my home. I've lived here since 8th grade. I was blessed with this opportunity by my AD, Darren Mott, and my principal. Give me an opportunity. I'm a walk-in coach, and feel lucky. Like these boys, love being on the baseball field, and just want them getting better, and have them be good in life, and succeed in what we do every day.
You guys have 7 commits at this point?
Yes.
So how great is that as the head coach to have guys have 7 commits at this point, one of them being, a sophomore that committed in his freshman year to USC, among many others that committed very early on. How rewarding is that for you?
It's very rewarding. All these kids deserve it, though. They put in the work every day. I know they're working when I'm not even watching. You know, I tell these kids, you know, to get better, to make it to the next level, what you're doing when I'm not watching you. And all these kids are, you know, exceeding those expectations. I know they're going to the gym. I know they're, you know, hitting the cages, you know, at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, just trying to get better. And, you know, it's a good thing seeing, you know, a group of kids, you know, coming together, going to the gym together, or, you know, just being, you know, just wanting to perform to exceed their expectations to play college baseball, or even then go further as much as they want to.
Exactly. The grind really never stops for these guys out here. You guys are currently riding back-to-back losses, but before that, you started the season going 3-0. So how would you say that you guys have been playing so far this year?
We've been playing baseball well. You know, it was a tough loss. It was a pitcher's duel. I believe Mosiello for Chaparral, you know, hats off to him. He threw a no-hitter. You know, we made contact. They played good defense. We had one bad inning, and that's baseball for you. You know, I have faith in my team. There's 14 league games left. No panic. But you know, we're still on the same page, on the same track of what we want to try to do, trying to win the league championship and trying to go to CIFSS and make a good run there. So, you know, my team's, as you can tell, very relaxed. We're going to still be playing the same baseball. Nothing's going to change. So, yeah.
When you have a team where you went out there and they ended up being on the opposite side of a no-hitter, what do you tell them to keep them as motivated as they were entering that game?
You know, when we talked afterwards, we had 4 strikeouts, like I said, so we made contact. And, you know, we came in the cages, we sat down, you know, individually, we said, hey, this is what we need to work on. This is what we have to accomplish. We talked about how pitchers are trying to find your weak spots every single at bat. They're going to try to pinpoint them. All we got to do is, you know, try to fix those little things. But you know, at the end of the day, like I said, we had 4 strikeouts, but the ball in play, it wasn't falling for us. These kids know, you know, I trust my sticks on my team. All these kids, you know, can swing the bat very well, and you know, I'm not gonna let a game dictate, you know, what's gonna happen in the future. I have trust in them. So.
Most of the time, I ask coaches what fans expect from this team or what they can expect from them over the rest of the season. But in this case, I'm going to ask you, what are your expectations for this team?
You know, I tell my kids, you know, take it one game at a time. You know, one game, one inning, one pitch at a time. Obviously, I have high expectations for my boys. And as a coaching staff as well, we have high expectations going through every year, having the game plan of what we wanted to do. But, you know, so take it one pitch at a time. Obviously, you want to win the league championship. Obviously, you want to go to CIFSS, you know, win CIFSS. But we have our long-term goals and we have our short-term goals as a team. And my ultimate, you know, goal is to, you know, get those done, you know, and hopefully we do. So
that'll be very exciting to watch. Thank you so much for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Now let's go to Harvard Westlake with Connor.
Thank you, Tommy. I had the pleasure Monday to check out one of the top baseball teams in the nation in Harvard Westlake, and boy, did they not disappoint. Harvard Westlake annihilated Crespi on the road 17-1 to open Mission League play with a 1-0 record. Post-game, I spoke with senior J.P. Corrigan, who did a little bit of everything in the victory.
Well, the way we grind on the field, I don't think we should expect anything less. I mean, we're out there every day. It's just another day. We won the day.
Take me through your home run. That was one of the furthest bombs I've seen a high school kid hit. It was a crush ball to the left. Take me through that at bat.
Well, we're just looking to drive every ball. We work hard in the cages. We work to hit line drives hard, and that's just one of the outcomes of what we do.
Harvard Westlake, one of the best teams not only in the state but in the country. We've had a ton of success so far this season. Today was game 1 of league play, and you know, to win in dominating fashion, I'm sure it's nice. How much fun is it to be one of these great teams and win so frequently?
Well, it's great. These guys, these are my best friends out here. We're hanging out every day at school, on the field. It's great to do it with these guys.
And JP, last thing for you. You played really well as a hitter today, but then you closed the game pitching. It was 17-1, but still it was a quick and easy inning for you in that last frame. What was it like to do a little bit of everything tonight?
Well, it's great, obviously. We work really hard. There's not much you can say. that's just a product of our hard work.
All right, Les, anything else? I know you already talked about Harvard Westlake a little bit with the top 10, but anything else you want to add about that?
Yeah, just a really good team, and they got a lot of really good players. Obviously, everybody knows about Pete Pro Armstrong and Drew Bowser in next year's class, but here's a name for you. He's a 2019 pitcher committed to Princeton, Jack LaMangeli. He's the type of guy, Tommy, that he can go to Princeton, grow a few more inches, add on some weight, and come out of there and be the next Ivy League guy, right? I mean, he's about 6 foot, touches 90 miles an hour, sits 88, 89, 87 in that neighborhood. Really good breaking ball. So Jack LaMangeli, 2019 pitcher out of Harvard Westlake. He's going to win a lot of games for them this year, and then when he does gets over to Princeton, should do the same there.
Now I'm going to have to go look through everything and try and find the other Ivy League players. I know they're out there, and they're just racking my brain for right now. It can happen. Hey, they will find you no matter where you are. Players of the week for last week, I will start Josiah Morrissey from Sarah. That's it. He didn't hit one his last game, so sorry, I kind of jinxed it. But hit home runs in 4 games in a row. He's going to head to play at Cal State Bakersfield next year. Next player is Kevin Murrieta from Loyola. I can't talk. He has hits in every single game this season. In 7 games, he's hitting .522 with 4 doubles, 3 triples, and a home run. That's good for 14 RBIs as well. He'll be playing at Georgia Tech, not next season, but 2 years from now, because he's 2020 class. Leo Bristow from Buckley, 4-0 with 41 strikeouts, and a .33 ERA, only giving up 1 earned run so far. He'll be playing at Stevens Institute of Technology next year, the D3 school out there in New Jersey. So, pack a coat. I don't know what else to tell you. A lot of doubleheaders over there on the East Coast.
41 strikeouts?
41 strikeouts in 4 games.
Wow.
Good start for Leo. You mentioned St. John Bosco briefly. I'm going to mention one of the players, David Hayes, 3-0 with a perfect 0 ERA. He'll be pitching at Nevada next year.
Yeah, I saw Hayes against Miracosta a couple weeks ago, and he was lights out, and really good pickup for Nevada. And the Parada, that guy can swing the bat. So, Tommy, I'm doing a little something different. I'm going all seniors, and I'm going all pitchers on you this time.
There we go. Get him out there.
Let's start off with Jesse Simon over at Long Beach Poly. He's an uncommitted senior through a complete game shutout. Gave up 3 singles, no walks, 9 strikeouts over at Blair Field, and a 4-0 win against Mayfair. He also had an RBI double, in that game. Really good performance there for Jesse Simon. Moving on up a little bit further north, J.D. Callahan out of West Ranch, senior right-handed pitcher, UC Santa Barbara commit. He beat Hart on Wednesday, went 5 1/3 scoreless innings. Allowed just 1 hit, struck out 7. Move over to the South Bay, Jared Karros out of Miracosta High School, the UCLA signee. All he did was throw a complete game no-hitter, allowing 1 walk and 5 strikeouts against Gar. That's a heck of a performance. He was actually the guy that faced Hayes when I saw Miracosta against Bosco, and he was pretty good in that game too. And lastly, I'm going to go with 2019 shortstop pitcher Gilbert Lopez out of Cal High. The lone game of the week for them last week. He went 6 innings, scattered 4 hits, allowed 1 run, struck out 8, and a big win over Sonora. So there's my all-senior, all-pitcher players of the week.
And that Karros last name sounds a little bit familiar.
Yep. It is.
Jared, you're your own guy. I don't want to do that to you, but yeah. All right, moving on to our game picks. We got 4 for you. We're going to start. I know they played already so far, but it's at Notre Dame at Chaminade.
Yeah, Notre Dame's on fire, man. They beat Chaminade yesterday 6-1 behind a strong outing behind Tyler Stromsborg, the USC commit. Sophomore Maddox Lotta is hitting .500 for Chaminade in the early part of the season, while Jack Costello's chipped it in at .364. They're really going to need those guys and more if they're going to come back in this series. Notre Dame's arms are proving to be legit, and because of that, I'm going to go with the Knights in this one.
I'll go with them too. I mean, a late week game, always got to look at the depth of pitching staffs, because that is pretty much going to either win or lose a ball game. I like Notre Dame should know something better. Next game, Camarillo at Thousand Oaks.
Thousand Oaks comes in back on their winning ways after a couple losses 2+ weeks ago. Both teams are scheduled to play a game before this matchup, which will obviously impact pitching rotations. Thousand Oaks is getting a boost, at least emotionally, when they heard that Rock Riggio was cleared to play, so he'll be back after the sit-out period. That's really going to boost their lineup. But, Max Muncy and Ryan Turner and Jacob Wilson, the rest of that Thousand Oaks crew has really got that thing going right now offensively. And I just think that they have a little bit too much firepower, so I'm going to go with T.O. in this one.
I'll go with them too. And you talk about the pitching, and I was thinking about the weather, so I'm going to ask you a strategy question here. Let's say you've got a Monday, Wednesday, Friday slate. Your number 2 guy's supposed to go Wednesday, but it rains. What do you do as a manager? Do you push him to Friday, or do you want to keep the rotation the same?
No doubt. I mean, that's been a big question for a lot of coaches here so far in the early part of the season. And the answer with most of them is just push those guys. For example, in this case, if a guy's scheduled to go today and he probably won't throw until Friday, maybe you just have him throw a light bullpen just to get loose and feel good come Friday, because you're definitely going to use them Friday. Obviously, these games count, so you're trying to win. The rotation be darned, right? I mean, you need to win some games, and if that guy gives you the best chance to win the game, you're certainly going to push that guy to Friday.
Yeah, I know, and especially when it comes around league time, that's what becomes even more critical. Next game, it is West Ranch at Pueblos.
Yeah, Coach Burrow's West Ranch team is looking to get a little more consistency going. They win a couple, they lose one. They win a couple, they'll lose one. The same holds true for Dos Pueblos, who comes in at 6-3-1, not counting Thursday's game. It's going to be a long bus ride to Goleta for this one for West Ranch. They're scheduled to play Saugus in a league game tomorrow. Sophomore Trey Topping of West Ranch is off to a really good start, hitting .386 in the early part. In the end, though, I just like the depth that West Ranch has. And I think they're going to prevail in this one, assuming that they don't play that game tomorrow against Saugus.
I'm scared of the bus ride, so I'm going to go with Dos Pueblos. Kid, I want to mention them. Dylan Ledbetter has been struggling early this season, but yesterday had a heck of a game. He went 4 for 4 with a triple and a home run, 4 RBIs. He also pitched in a 9-0 win for Lompoc, so big game for him there. Final game we're going to talk about, it is Oak Hills at Redlands East Valley.
Yeah, Oak Hills comes in. They've lost 2 of 3. They're 5-3 overall. Meanwhile, Rev comes in at 5-1 and is led by senior Caden Hobson, who's hitting .474. And on the mound, Tyler Tilton is 3-0, 2.62 ERA. Julian Macias is hitting .476 for Oak Hills, while their team ERA is pretty good, man, at 1.84. Something's got to give in this one. Rev at home is a tough team to beat. Hobson's swinging a really hot bat, and he's getting some attention from Major League scouts, deservedly so. I just like what they're doing at home. I like what Tilton provides on the mound and what that offense can do. So I'm going to go with Rev in this one.
I'll put all my chips on that 1.84 ERA for Oak Hills. You guys would be right. All right, Les, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, check us out at prepbaseballreport.com/California. We're putting out new content every day. Mondays, we come out with our Power 25. Tuesdays, our Player of the Week. Wednesdays is our Diamond Notes, in addition to all of our game coverage. You can hit us up on Twitter at PBR_California. You can also hit us up on Instagram at PBR California. Those are the places to find us. We got stuff coming out every single day.
All right, yeah, make sure to find them there. Make sure to follow us next week. We'll have more of the same. This is our usual podcast now, so get used to the structure. It'll be fun. See you the rest of the season.